Hello and welcome to Hearthstone Top 5. My name is Benjamin Hero, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at the top 5 hardest to play decks. These are the 5 decks that in terms of Hearthstone have been the hardest to play, hardest to pilot, and the hardest to get wrong. There's so many mistakes and so many ways you can get wrong playing these 5 decks. This list does not include, let's say, the more specialist decks that you like to play, such as your aggro, pirate, beast, priest deck. Those kind of super niche decks might be damn hard to play, but since not many people play them, I'm going to not include them on the list. These 5 decks are more of the super mainstream decks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste time because I'm really looking forward to this list. Alright, let's get started with the top 5 hardest to play decks in the history of Hearthstone. At number 5, we have Miracle Rogue. The basic premise of Miracle Rogue is that you play to your Gadgetion Auctioneer. You play Auctioneer, then you play a whole bunch of random spells and get as much card advantage as possible by using Gadgetion Auctioneer, and then you also make a big, huge, giant Edwin Van Cleave. Miracle Rogue has gone through many different iterations, different decks, and different sort of play styles, but the whole core premise of Miracle Rogue is all about getting card advantage and playing a really weird deck. What made Miracle Rogue a really hard or straight deck to handle is because it plays so differently compared to the typical Hearthstone deck. Usually on a deck you have your minions, and then you have your spells that support your minions, and you do typical minion trading. But when you play Miracle Rogue, you really can't do that. And because Rogue doesn't really have any good taunt minions, and it has absolutely no healing cards other than Leeching Poison, which you don't play in Miracle Rogue, it made it really a tricky balance between survivability and greed. Subsequently, over the years, Miracle Rogue has been one of the hardest decks to pilot properly. And a lot of the pros say, such as Doug, once you know how to play Miracle Rogue excellently, you can find comebacks that you haven't even seen before. Once you've seen a good Miracle Rogue game, you would think there's no way they can survive. Then they play Gadgetion Auctioneer, play a bunch of spells, Kobolds, Eviscerate, and somehow, someway, they come back. This is the power of Miracle Rogue. It is expertly crafted if you know how to play it properly. And that is why Miracle Rogue is at number 5 as the top 5 hardest to play deck. It's because it's really hard to play properly, but once you do, you feel like some kind of Jedi master.
Yeah, but look, now we get to cast Auctioneer on a completely empty board.
Right, and you have preparation as well.
Yeah,
so...
you have prep and you have the Shiv. Like, this is great for
Nimsh.
Nimsh.
Are you gonna use the super comeback?
He plays Dr. Boom in
Dr.
Miracle.
Boom as well. Shiv is gonna draw in some cards.
But really proving that if Dr. Boom has a place in Miracle,
anything.
Yeah, exactly. That just really says a lot about the card.
Alright, so what do we do here?
I think I have Eviscerate
Oh,
face.
we just chopped the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just get the maximum value, like you. And that's what it needs.
Oh my!
Oh!
That's a card.
That's the first time I see that card in like in someone's hand, like ever. Oh, and the second preparation.
God. Wow, he could actually make a huge Van Cleave here.
Yeah, I think that's the line. And if he has a conceal in his deck, that is probably that is just the game.
Oh my god, backstab as well. He can also like. Well, he could backstab his Auctioneer. I mean, what is the Mage gonna do to like a 4/2 anyways?
It's not terrible.
Okay, it seems like he's gonna attack first, and then flurry, and then play the hugest Van Cleave ever. Save the sabotage for later. That's a conceal!
There it is. There
it
is.
Oh my god!
So we use Edwin and conceal here.
Oh, what a turnaround.
My god.
This Van Cleave is huge. 10-10 that you can't interact with. Fisher is sewing. What the heck went wrong this game?
At number 4, we have Freeze Mage, the original super hard deck to play. People always say, you either are a Freeze Mage player or you're not. It's either one or the other because this deck is so divisive and so damn hard to play. This is how the typical game plan of Freeze Mage is. One, you keep the board clear and you stall whatever it takes, using cards such as Doomsayer, Frost Nova, Blizzard, Flame Strike. Once you've done that, you play Alexstrasza and set the opponent's health to 15. Step 3, 2 fireballs and 1 frostbolt, Shazam, you win the game. You've dealt 15 damage. This is the simple game plan of Rouge Mage, but oftentimes it's not that simple. I always like to think of Rouge Mage as a deck. The idea is simple, but the execution is so hard because you have to play such an unorthodox game because you barely have any minions and you just have a bunch of spells in your hand, and you have to match up against aggro decks, you have to match up against super heavy control warriors and somehow find a win because they can get above 30 health. And an expert Rouge Mage player knows how to navigate through all areas of the game, through all different types of deck archetypes. And this is what makes it such a hard game. For the simple fact is, you have to play a completely different game that you're used to. People often say that Rouge Mage is like the ultimate solitaire deck. You're simply playing it against yourself once you have all the pieces, because cards such as Ice Block ensure that you can always get that one extra turn that you need, and oftentimes it is that one extra turn you need for you to close the game out. And this is why Rouge Mage is such a fascinating deck. I actually love watching it, especially high level Rouge Mage plays. Actually, let me know. I'm thinking of maybe doing a history of the Rouge Mage deck. If this interests you, let me know below the comments to see if there's enough interest, and I'll make a video about the history of Rouge Mage and how the deck evolved and what it is now. I'll be quite curious myself. In essence, Rouge Mage is one of the hardest decks to play by far because you require a whole different set of strategies and gameplay thinking for you to properly execute and for you to properly play the deck. And this is why it's at number 4.
Wow, that is theoretically not lethal again. I could actually win this game. It is theoretically possible to win. Wait, no it's not. Even if I top deck the... Wait, no, I can top deck 2 cards! Oh! Oh my gosh, I just drew another way for me to theoretically not lose this game. Wait. 6, 9, 13... Wait, the last card is Ice Lance. Crap. I am so close! I am so close! I mean, whatever. Yammer. Be1 short. Be1 short, no! What? Yes, no! Is that... Oh my gosh! I won! Holy... No, I haven't yet! No, I have a 66% chance of... Oh my... Wait, no! Because... Oh, I have a 33% chance... Holy crap! Holy crap! Holy crap! I won this game! Oh my gosh!
At number 3, we have Dead Man's Hand Warrior, the ultimate fatigue warrior deck to exist in Hearthstone. The premise of Dead Man's Hand Warrior is to get 2 copies of Dead Man's Hand into your hand, and other cards that you want to shuffle back into your deck. You play 1 Dead Man's Hand and you shuffle the second copy back into your deck, while you still keep a copy in your hand, and eventually you're gonna draw the 3rd copy and you'll be able to go infinite. Meaning you can have infinite amount of cards in your deck and you can never fatigue. The power of Dead Man's Hand Warrior is the ability to be the ultimate toolbox deck. And what a toolbox deck is in card game terms is you're able to do a bit of everything. With Dead Man's Hand Warrior, you can gain as much armor as you want using cards such as Bring It On and Shield Block. You can answer essentially any threats out there using cards such as Execute and Brawl, and you can essentially survive for as long as you need to, because Dead Man's Hand will never get you into fatigue. So if you can get as much health as you want using armor, and you can kill every single threat on the board, you eventually win the game by simply outlasting your opponent. And it's the art of outlasting your opponent is where the sheer difficulty comes into play, because you have to play your opponent's 30 cards and know exactly which cards you want to shuffle in, when to use Dead Man's Hand, when you actually need to go infinite, and what cards you need to sort of have in your hand of the amount. How many Bring It Ons, how many Shield Blocks, how many Executes, how many Brawls, and it is so damn hard. Trump once said, a very good Hearthstone player, in case you guys don't know, he once said that Dead Man's Hand Warrior is the ultimate deck in Hearthstone that can win every game if you know how to play it right. And trust me, it is hard to play. So hard to. People have tried to play it properly, but I don't think nobody in this world exists yet that can fully, properly play Dead Man's Hand Warrior to this most effective level, because there are just so many variables that you have to account from your opponent's card, keeping track of their cards, keeping track of your cards, keeping track of the odds of the cards you go into draw. Dead Man's Hand Warrior is stupidly complex and so damn hard. It is easily, at least in recent times, the hardest deck to come out easily in recent times. And this is why Dead Man's Hand Warrior is at number 3.
Oh no! Oh no, I don't have Armor Game left in the deck. Oh, I have Garrosh. That's a terrible idea.
At number 2, we have by far the most technically complicated combo in the history of Hearthstone, I think now and forever in the future. And that is APM Priest, i.e. Topsy-Turvy Combo Priest. That combo is so complicated that I cannot, on the top of my head, give you the exact details. So I have to use an aid to read the combo to you people, because it is so damn complex. In essence, the basic premise of APM Priest is that you use your cards such as Lab Assistant. You know, I don't even know why I'm even trying. There's going to be a clip that's going to explain what the hell APM Priest is, and then I'm going to explain what just happened.
Setup preparation phase is you play the 2 Radiant Elementals in this test subject in your hand. After that, you play Divine Spirit on the test subject, and you also Vivid Nightmare, the test subject. Which means that your new test subject is going to have the buff credit of Vivid Nightmare and Divine Spirit on it. Finally, you Topsy-Turvy test subject number 1, which means you're going to get your Topsy-Turvy back, you're going to get your Divine Spirit back, and you're going to get your Vivid Nightmare back. And you've only spent a total of 1 mana because Vivid Nightmare costs 1 from Radiant Elemental. So you've completed phase 1, which is basically getting rid of your first test subject and beginning the duplication process. Now you're gonna do that repeatedly. You put the Divine Spirit and the Vivid Nightmare and Topsy-Turvy this test subject again. But this time, you get double the credit because the first test subject already had the Divine Spirit and the Vivid Nightmare put on it. So now you're getting 2 Divine Spirits and 2 Vivid Nightmares, as well as your Topsy-Turvy. Now, you can simply put Vivid Nightmare on your Radiant Elemental, making all of your spells cost 3 cheaper, which means Vivid Nightmare now also costs 0. At this point, every single time you Vivid Nightmare test subject, you're going to get another copy of 2 Divine Spirits and, well, now 3 Vivid Nightmares. And you have to watch your hand at this point, but ultimately the combo is to either put a bunch of Divine Spirits and then Topsy-Turvy, a minion you already have on the board, to deal a lot of damage to the face, or you can have a Stone Tusk Boar in your hand and then put a bunch of Divine Spirits and then Topsy-Turvy that, along with some amount of Vivid Nightmares, because you can just copy a bunch of your boars and then charge with all of them.
As you can see, APM Priest, it is so damn hard to play. So hard to play, because you have to keep in mind so many sort of technical things, such as how many cards you have in hand, when you can do the combo, the board state, and you've seen the amount of different failed attempts and how hard it is to play APM Priest correctly. I've tried playing a deck and I've made so many mistakes. so many mistakes because I'm not willing to properly, fully study it like some kind of entrance exam. You know what? I don't even need this aid because I think this video did enough justice to the deck. And this is why APM Priest is number 2. It's not number 1 because the combo is very mechanical. And once you have the whole mechanical combo down, you can begin to execute it on a more repeated basis. Whereas the next deck is truly the hardest deck ever conceived to play in Hearthstone. But I'll give where credit is due. APM Priest is definitely one of the hardest decks ever to play in Hearthstone.
Shouldn't use it yet. Shit, hold on. Got it.
At number 1, we have pre-nerfed Grim Patron Warrior, perhaps the most powerful deck ever to be released in Hearthstone. A lot of the pros say that with Grim Patron Warrior, if the deck was piloted correctly, you could never lose a single game. This is how powerful the deck was. Let me tell you how it works. The basic premise of pre-nerfed Grim Patron Warrior was the pre-nerfed Warsong Commander, a 3-mana 2/3 warrior card with the effect of give your minions charge whose attack is 3 or lower. And then you also play Grim Patron, which is a 5-mana 3/3. And whenever it gets damaged, you can summon another Grim Patron. And if you happen to have Fucking Berserker on the field, and it was a 2 or 3 attack, it will also gain charge. And then if you were to swing your second charge of Despite and use the Whirlwind effect to damage everything, your fucking Berserker is going to be huge. You're gonna have a whole bunch of Grim Patrons, and all of these cards, fucking Berserker, Grim Patron, will have charge, and you just go for the face and win the game. This is the basic premise of Grim Patron Warrior. But as you can imagine, having a sort of strategy doesn't always mean it's going to work out. And the beauty of Grim Patron Warrior is its flexibility. It can board clear, it can control, it can go phase, it can go aggro, it can essentially do anything because of the charge effect the Warsong Commander gives the patrons and the multiplication effect of the patrons. The deck was so hard to play that the win rate of Grim Patron on the ladder was actually below 50%. So Blizzard didn't think the deck was so broken. But in actual fact, the top 1% of players, the top 10% of players had a win rate of up to 70 to 80% on ladder. That is basically unheard of. What that meant is the average people would always lose when they were playing Grim Patron Warriors, but the top echelon of players would always win, mostly. Why? Because the flexibility of Grim Patron Warrior, of having the removal of patrons and having a combo, and the deck could do anything essentially. People used to think that it had counters, but then as people got even better playing Grim Patron Warrior, we all realized essentially Grim Patron Warrior had no hard counters. At best, maybe it can be a 45-55 matchup. This is the versatility and the power of Grim Patron Warrior, and the deck was so hard to pilot. They always say, if you're able to play Grim Patron Warrior properly, you should never lose a single game. Never! Because this is how powerful Grim Patron Warrior is. And it's in fact the only deck on the list that you can no longer play. Even if you want to play it, you can't play it. because Water Commander has been nerfed, has been changed. It has been changed to retain the soul of the card. So it's almost a shame that I'm putting on the list because you cannot experience it for yourself. But hopefully some videos and some highlights will make you see the power and the complexity it took to play Grim Patron Warrior. Roping is a common thing when you play Grim Patron Warrior, because nobody, I don't care who you are, nobody could do all the maths to see whether your fucking Berserker will have enough for lethal. And this is why Grim Patron Warrior is by far the hardest deck to play and to pilot properly, because you always have a chance to win. And this is why Grim Patron Warrior is the #1 of the hardest decks ever in Hearthstone.
I guess it should be. We'll just have to see. There's a inner rage for some extra damage as well.
I don't know what the math on this is.
It seems
Played
like
Grim Patron Warrior. Enlighten us.
Yeah, it should be enough, I think.
Those Frothings are pretty upset. I think it's enough.
I wonder if it's more damage to trade in one of the Frothings on a minion before your whirlwind, right? Because you're gonna...
It's more damage to like trade in a Grim Patron.
2 patrons, right? You have 2 slots left.
Yeah.
After the whirlwind. But as you trade off, you're losing some... Oh no, there's some minions.
No, you're not. But actually, you missed some damage there, I think. Right?
I don't think so. It seems like it's lethal, though. It's lethal, it's lethal, it's lethal. Both these guys are...
Gar's like, come on!
125.
I had 50 life!
Yeah. Unless the lay ropes out, which I think he got it, and judging by Gar's facial expression. Yeah, each one for 40. That was my prediction. I guess that was a little bit off, but...
He actually missed some damage. I think you could have hit that 2-2 and then again with a 2.
Thank you for making it to the end. If you enjoyed it, please give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel. Also, if you like this video, please let me know if you want a part 2. There were so many other really hard decks that were out there I had to cut out for a top 5 list, such as Exodia Mage, Mill Druid, Mill Rogue, like original Fatigue Warrior. That was damn hard to play. If you'd like a video for me to do a part 2 on the hardest decks ever to play, let me know in the comments to see if there's interest, or if you'd like me to go in a more deeper aspect of each super hard deck and really go to the nitty gritty details. Also let me know if you would enjoy this. That way it helps me make the content tailored and just better for everyone. Let me know if you want something similar to that. Also, if you're interested in artifacts, while I was shooting this video, I thought of a really funny top 5 video to do for artifacts. I'm going to be posting it on a different channel, not on this one, since I hate when these content creators post stuff that's not related to the damn channel name on their channel. So I'm going to be posting on a different channel, probably called Benjamin Hill Artifact. It will just be one video. It's a really funny video that I want to do after I shot this one, just to see how the reactions go. So yeah, that's it for the news. Let me know in the comments if you want a part 2 for this video, and if you like artifacts, check out the artifact video, which I will put in the comments below also. And that's it. And as always, give me your feedback, tell me how I can improve to make even better Hearthstone content. I know one thing I can always improve upon is upload more videos, which I'm doing now, but please give me more feedback and more feedback, even if it's just you saying, Ben, please upload more videos. That helps. Okay, I guess that's enough rambling. But for now, thank you for your time and commitment, and I'll see you all later. Adios.